What's up, everybody? First of all, I hope you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving filled with awesome family, friends, and just amazing memories as well. Listen, some of us don't have the privilege to have families that live close to us or the ability to get to them. So if you do have that ability, be grateful. Be grateful through all the drama, through all the wondering when you're going to get married or who you're dating or how your work life is. Don't worry about any of that, because at the end of the day, it's just an amazing blessing to have family that supports you and is just around you at the end of the day. So that's just my little go-to real quick, and let's start this video. Let's go. Okay, so if you saw my last video, you realized that I talked about how to turn your hobby into a business, okay? Now this one is gonna be talking about why your business is gonna fail, okay? I can talk about successes, I can talk about all those key points, and those are gonna be another video, that's no problem. You can check out the shorts, you can check out the things I've done. That's gonna cover all of it. But today we're gonna talk about why your business has failed or is failing or will fail, okay? So these are your top 3 reasons on essentially why any business will fail. And you can take this into your photography, you can take this into the world, but these are 3 reasons why your business will fail. Number 1, and we're starting off with the biggest and most obvious one of all, it is planning. I'm talking about planning on your schedule, I'm talking about financial planning, I'm talking about emotional planning, and I'm talking about planning your day-to-day activities, setting up a routine for yourself so that you can maximize your hours and really make it work. Now, here's the thing about planning. So many of us have heard the phrase or the saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That thing is so true, 100%. But what happens is that we forget all the other intricacies that exist when it comes to planning, right? Planning is not only about figuring out, oh, hey, today I'm gonna go walk my dog, and then I'm gonna go to the store at 5 o'clock, and I'm gonna get groceries. That's cool and all, that works, right? But that's more of scheduling, right? We wanna talk about planning with your goals, planning an emotional level of how you will react when certain things happen, and really planning for your financial success. So here are some ways that you can really focus down on that. The first thing that I do, at least, is I organize my Google Calendar to the extreme. I wanna be able to have what's going on at 2 o'clock, at 3 o'clock, at 3:30, at 5, at 7, to the dot. I separate it with family, activities that I need to go to or I really want to go to, and then I got activities for myself or friends, social activities, then I have obviously my work, and then I have anything else that falls into any other categories. All 4 are gonna be in different colors. For me, I just choose red, yellow, blue, and purple. It just makes sense. And that makes everything just kind of flow a lot smoother. So I know, hey, this is a social activity. Is it movable for a work activity? The answer would typically be yes. And then that way I know what takes precedence over another thing, right? Yellow typically means, hey, it's a no-go, Dan. This is my family time. And I'm sorry, I know I love you. Client, you're the best, but I really gotta focus. It's my son's soccer game, I can't miss it. The second thing you wanna do in planning itself is focus on building yourself a routine. Now, it all depends on what kind of point of your life you're in. If you have a family, if you got kiddos, if you're married, if you have a steady girlfriend, you just moved in, I don't know, whatever's going on in your life, doesn't matter. This is gonna be a variable, right? So for me, my schedule is very consistent because my kids go to school at a certain time every day. I have to pick them up, my wife picks them up. I don't know, it kind of juggle around between both of us, right? If you are a single person and you're trying to build this dream, the worst thing that you could do is not have a routine. It's so easy to go into lax mode and stay up till 1, 2 in the morning and then wake up whenever you want because there's nothing to do in the morning, right? And you kind of get off this groove. The best thing that you can do is set up a established routine. I'm talking about waking up, having breakfast. You already know what you're gonna wear that next day. That's not a decision you have to make because that's just not important right now. Next thing is go to the gym, take care of your physical health, take care of your mental health, meditate, do yoga, whatever it takes, write in your journal, get ready to go for the day and make sure that you have a routine that's consistent and constant, because that's what's really gonna be a game changer. The last thing you need to worry about in the morning is, oh, what shirt am I gonna wear? What jacket should I put on? What pants? And you're burning 30, 45 minutes of your day trying to just look good for what, right? You already burned so much time, you feel a little less productive. I should have shot this video forever ago, and here I am, just shooting it barely now at, I don't know what time it is. The game's going on, so 7:30, and I'm really just burned a lot of my day because I failed to plan it because I was just gonna have a lazy day, and that was the incorrect decision, right? And so here we are, figuring out what is your routine. And obviously we're gonna talk a lot about routines, and that is just something super essential you should learn, but routines are super important to have. So make sure you make that a priority in your life. The third one and last one is financial planning, right? Emotional planning, I could talk about that more later, but honestly, that just means get ready for the ups and downs, and that's more of a mental state thing. We're gonna talk about that in later videos. But the third one is financial planning. You need to know your goals. You need to know when you need to achieve your goals. You need to know your break-even numbers, your bills, where's the money going in, how's the money coming out. You want to know everything about your business, because if you do not know and you're missing and things start putting in holes everywhere, it's going to be really difficult to patch the holes once you're starting to find success. And what's gonna happen is money's gonna come in, and then money's just gonna flow out, or essentially money is gonna start coming in, but it's not gonna be consistent enough because you don't know how to maintain that success because you haven't planned financially for it. So that's another huge one you gotta be careful for, is making sure you plan for that financial success. Now, the second reason why businesses fail, we talked about not planning. Obviously, we can talk more about that later. Shoot a comment below. Anything I talk about, shoot a comment below. Let's chat about it. The second reason why businesses fail is because businesses fail because you have no why, right? A why is something you hear about all the time in sales. Every business out there, anything you will ever do that revolves around your business has to do with sales. I don't care if you're talking about service. I don't care if you're selling products. I don't care if you're doing photography or whatever it may be, or art. It all revolves around sales and marketing, obviously. Now, sales is an amazing thing because it allows you to have this endless ceiling, or I don't know, the sky's the limit, right, of monetary gain that you can have. But what ends up happening is that you start achieving certain things, or you start hitting certain roadblocks. And the only thing that's gonna get you through when it comes to a world of sales is your why. You wanna have a reason on why you wake up in the morning, why you're grinding so hard, why you're putting in 12 hours of work a day instead of your usual 8, because this is something you believe in. Now that's gonna be your biggest one. It's gonna be, why am I working so hard? Is it for my family? Is it for a material end? Is it for status? Is it for power? Is it so that I can provide something to my kids in the future? Is it so that I can be a better, advancement in my generation that's here? Whatever it is, you have to have a why that's stronger than just, oh, I want to buy nice cars. Because guess what? You're going to end up buying the nice car, right? And then what happens there? Or your car's going to change, right? And then what happens, right? You lose your why. So finding out that specific why is going to boost you. You really want to dig deep on this one. This one's more of like the mental thing. You want to really figure out, hey, what is driving me to be a better person, to be a better father, brother, sister, whatever it may be, and how can I pinpoint that enough that it motivates me so I can push forward through my career? And that why is so, so crucial. Write it down, stick it on your fridge, stick it on the oven, stick it on the mirror when you wake up in the morning. That's what's gonna motivate you to get up, grind, and do the hard things that are required of you. Because guess what? Owning a business and doing sales, it's just hard. It's hard, but once you get it going, it makes sense knowing what your why is, because you understand this is why I'm sacrificing or working so hard, because at the end, it's all gonna be worth it. And then through the process, you'll figure out, hey, all this was actually worth it and I'm having a great time doing it. Without a why, you're just aimless. You're kind of figuring out what your purpose is, and honestly, that's just a hard way to live. So figure out your why. The third reason why businesses fail is because they fail to realize the needs of their client. You've seen this in companies like Peloton and Carvana and Facebook that are constantly growing to a company that they believe will be what everyone wants, right? Facebook overvalued their growth, that they hired way too many people doing unnecessary things, and they just had to lay off like 13% of their workforce. I don't know, put an article up, I don't know, some number between there. And that all is because they didn't anticipate that the product wouldn't keep growing, right? They didn't understand that the consumer's not ready for like a metaverse. We don't need all this, VR stuff right now. Yeah, you can prep us, but that shouldn't be your main focus, right? And what happens is other companies find that error, find that void, and they fill it in. Right, with Carvana, they timed the market terribly. Carvana was a great resource for us in which we can buy something from the comfort of our couch and made it super simple. But what happened is that all the prices got super inflated. They kept buying at higher prices and selling at higher prices. And the customers, unfortunately, were like, hey, you know what? You're a great place to sell things, but you're not the best place to buy things. And what ended up happening is that Carvana just crashed and they're down to like under $8 a share, and it's just abysmal, right? And the last example would be Peloton. Peloton was killing it. I mean, it was an amazing stock to have during the COVID-19 crisis, pandemic, whatever. It was an amazing stock to have. It grew so much during COVID because they understood, hey, our clients' needs are here in the home. They need to work out. They got to find and stay active. But what happened is they generated all this revenue, and instead of putting it into the future thinking, hey, the pandemic is going to end eventually and people are going to go back to the gym, what can we do in order to secure more customers here at home? They just doubled down that everyone was going to stay at home and be happy with working out. But that just wasn't the case. So they didn't realize the needs of their clients or their evolving needs, and they just got lost. So what ends up happening, and when I've seen it in the photography space, is that you're an amazing photographer and you're charging a good amount of money. Obviously, if you're charging into the 5 figures per shoot, you're way past this, right? Like your business will most likely not fail because you understand what you've built and you generate really good referral system, whatever you do, you know what you're doing. The photographers that are breaking into the $1,000 gigs or $2,000 gigs, right? You're seeing this success and you're seeing that, hey, what can I offer, right? You gotta focus on, hey, what is there more that I can offer or give you that would allow me to be different in my space and continue evolving? For me, that was the evolution of video. I offer video now as probably one of the most main resources or sources of income for my business. It used to be like 90-10%, 80-20, 70-30, and now it ends up being about 60-40, making video a huge part of my company. One of my favorite clients I work with is By 19, right? Nathan Ruff is the CEO. He owns this amazing marketing and website development company, and he throws business my way every month, and it is such a huge blessing to work for him. But one of the most crucial things that I've realized was that I was taking a lot of photos, but never enough video. So I went ahead and I talked to him about it. At first, he was a little skeptical. Hey, maybe our clients aren't ready for that. You know, this is how we build our websites. And so I went ahead and took a step and I made him a video. Just on my own time, I was on a shoot doing photos for him, and I just went ahead and snuck some video in there. He had no idea. I presented him the video, and now it is the landing video on the page of his client, new website. And he says, hey, from now on, we're gonna start offering videos and give that as an add-on, so that way you and I can make a little bit more money. That is a way that you can figure out, hey, what is a great way to create add-on sales so that not only my client is making more of an impact or benefit, but also I'm reaping the rewards by offering something more that kind of gives my value just that little notch that it needs. So always be evolving and figure out the needs of your client. If you're taking photos and you see a trend and you're a preset photographer and you're just slapping on presets in there, and every client's being like, hey, can you send us the RAWs? Hey, can you send us the RAWs? Understand you're doing something wrong. That is not normal. If a client asks me for RAWs, like after the shoot, not before, I'm not talking about this in my contract and they asked for before, I'm talking if they asked for it after the shoot, after I've delivered all the images, I messed up. I made the edits wrong, I did something wrong, and that is a no-go. And so figuring out your pain points and also how to evolve for your clients' needs is super essential in making sure your business continues growing. All right, guys, if you're following those 3 things and you figure out, hey, I'm in one of those things. Right now, I'm just not in the right mind space. Hey, right now, I wake up whenever I want to. And right now, I'm just not offering anything new. I'm not giving any new experience to my customers or clients. Then your business will most likely not fail as a whole if you're just doing one of the 3, but you're gonna miss out on a lot of revenue that you can get if you were kind of filling all those holes out and kind of building up your kingdom, right? So one of my favorite things to do, it's a great mental exercise, is like to take a step back, and I like to do kind of an audit of my own company. I like to figure out, hey, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are my opportunities and what are my threats, right? A little SWOT analysis, super classic business thing. But I really like to focus on, hey, what am I doing right? Who are my clients? Who is really happy with my work and keeps hiring me over and over? And who have I lost? And what am I not getting anymore? And why have they stopped contacting me? And that is a great way to figure out what's kind of happening in your environment, kind of pinpoint those problems. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment, subscribe. Honestly, my goal is just to get you guys making the most money in the shortest time possible. These videos are gonna be really short because there's just so much fluff out there that people can talk about. But yeah, all right, guys, take care and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.